A lot of fragrances has been announced discontinued recently, and some of them are rumored to be discontinued, but some of them are still readily available. So today I'll be sharing a lot of those fragrances with you guys and why you should grab them before they're all gone. Yo, what's up guys, Tim here, welcome back to another video, and today I have around 8 fragrances right here that are rumored to be discontinued or have already been announced discontinued. These are 8 fragrances that you definitely need to grab in your collection, especially if you're a collector of any fine fragrances, any unique fragrances. These are gems of fragrances you absolutely need to grab. So let's start out with the first one. I want to get this one out of the way because this has been the most recently rumored one, and that is the Valentino Uomo line. So there's rumor that this one, Uomo Intense, is discontinued, but I've checked on the website and Noir Absolu is also gone, and the other two, the Uomo and Uomo Aqua, is also rumored to be gone. Now I've already purchased those 2 fragrances, but they're still coming in the mail. So I already have the whole line secured, but these 2 right here are the 2 that you should grab the most, especially the Intense one right here. This is a gem from 2016, one of the best release that's ever been released from Valentino. And the fact that they are discontinuing this one is mind-boggling to me because this is so amazing. It's hailed as one of the best Irish type fragrance to ever come out on the market to compete with the Homme Intense. And a lot of people do enjoy this one over the Dior Intense. So the fact that they're discontinuing a scent like this is beyond unbelievable to me because it's so good. It's one of my favorite scents of all time. I want to buy a backup bottle of this for myself, but I know in my heart I'll never finish it, so I'm not gonna do it. But if you guys have not owned this one yet, you guys absolutely should own it, especially if you like Iris or if you've been on the edge of purchasing this one. Find a bottle for yourself. It's already extremely hard to find it, to be perfectly honest. I've searched on eBay, some discounted website, and a lot of places have already ran out of Valentino Uomo Intense because it is a really good scent, very popular scent. So hopefully by the time you watch this video, you could grab a bottle for yourself because this thing, if you don't have it, you're gonna miss out for sure. It's just one of those amazing gems. That's why I'm talking about this one here first. So the other one in the same line is the Uomo Noir Absolu. Now this one is a really nice fragrance, strong kind of like sandalwoody incense. It's a really nice fragrance that smells more akin to a niche fragrance than a designer fragrance. Still very creative type scent. This one is one that I wanted for a long time. I don't super love this one, but I've wanted it for a long time because it's a designer that smells more like niche, and I always appreciate that level of creativity in designer fragrance. So I went ahead and finally picked this one up after I heard the news. It's only really available online in the 100 ml size, well, at least that's what I've been able to find it at, but on the actual website, it's already sold out. You can only find this on eBay and some discounted websites. So yeah, pick yourself a bottle of this one if you can. It is a really nice creative scent and a really nice addition to the line, especially if you're a completionist who wants to complete a whole entire line. You can't miss this one. It's really, really good. One of those hidden gems, especially for you niche lovers out there. Smells fantastic, and sadly, is being discontinued and going away. Now, before I get into the other fragrance, the story behind the discontinuation of the Uomo line by Valentino is that they're trying to push Born in Roma. They're discontinuing their fragrance in favor of this one right here. This is their newest release from the Valentino Uomo line. Born in Roma is a complete departure from everything that they ever made. This thing smells nothing like anything they've made before. This thing smells more akin to Invictus Aqua. And it's great, it's mass appealing, but it's not anything that's relatable to the line whatsoever. And it's a shame that they are discontinuing what the line DNA is all about, which is that nice kind of rich fall, winter, nighttime scent. And even the Aqua one has a little bit of a thickness that really works nicely in the fall. They're getting rid of all that in favor of money. In favor of money grabbing, basically. Not that this is a bad scent. I just don't agree with this one replacing the rest of the line. That's what I'm saying. But go ahead and grab the line while you still can. And again, it is just rumored to be discontinued, but for me, from my research, the rumor is kind of becoming true because those 2 especially are so hard to find now, and it's scary. Next fragrance is from Guerlain. Now, I've talked a lot about this one in the past few videos, and this one is L'Homme Ideal Cologne. Now, this one is still pretty much readily available everywhere at around $20 to $30 range, more so around the $30 range now. Now, when I first started talking about this fragrance, it was more readily available around $20. Now, is changing. It's gonna become more and more expensive over time. Now the fragrance that's replacing this is L'Homme Ideal Cool, which I do not own because that's a very new release. It's still expensive and it's not something that a lot of people like. So I'm gonna save that one for later. I'll probably buy it sometime in the future, but I'm not so in a hurry to buy that. But if you are on a market for a really nice summer cologne, summer fragrance for men, this one is amazing. It has a really nice kind of fresh, invigorating vibe mixed with a really nice almondy sweetness, which tones the freshness down a little bit, makes it smooth and really nice. It gives it a very unique summer vibe, and I don't know why it's going away. Why is it being replaced? I don't understand. They're keeping the L'Homme Ideal Sport though. That one's not going away, and that one is not nearly as good as this one by any stretch of the imagination, but they're keeping that one around for some reason. I do own the sport version, it's the blue bottle. It's nice, I do like wearing it, but it's nowhere near as good as this one. If any fragrance should have been discontinued, it should have been the sport one, because I think the cool version replaced the sport one really, really well. It doesn't replace this one well. This one is much better than the cool. So yeah, grab this bottle while it's still cheap. I really love this one, and if you've tried any Guerlain fragrances before and you like the almondy kind of vanilla kind of sweetness in Guerlain fragrances, really can't miss this one. Next one here is a recently announced discontinued fragrance. Now this one is for sure discontinued alongside the L'Homme Ideal Cologne. This one is another for sure discontinued fragrance. This one is Spicebomb Eau Fresh, or Spicebomb Fresh. This one is a really nice fragrance for the kind of like spring and summertime. It has the original Spicebomb DNA mixed with a lot of freshness. I really enjoy wearing this one myself. The projection on this one is not quite as good, but in terms of smell, it's a really amazing one to have in your collection. It's one that will remind you of like a more creative time in the fragrance world per se. There's not a lot of creativity going on now in today's market. This one just smells fantastic, fantastic. Back then, man, fragrances, I think 2016 and below, they're all so creative. Very, very nice releases almost constantly. Nowadays, very hard to find extremely good releases. Out of like 1,000 of them, you might find like 3 or 5 that are worth owning throughout the entire year. So yeah, this will remind you of a much more creative time in the fragrance world, and it's one that is absolutely worth having before it completely goes away. So love Spicebomb Fresh right here. Amazing fragrance, especially if you like the extreme version or you like the original version. This is one you need to own. Trust me on all of these fragrances that I'm talking about right here. These are must-own fragrances, or else I really wouldn't be wasting my time talking about it to you guys. Next one here, we have a rumored kind of discontinued. I don't really hear a lot of news about this one, to be perfectly honest with you. This one is the scent Parfum by Hugo Boss. Now this one is really, really nice. This is probably my least favorite of the whole entire list though, but I wanted to include this one in here anyway because it is a nice smelling scent, and it's one that is getting harder and harder to find. So if you are the fan of the scent DNA, if you want to complete the collection, or if you want a more smooth out, more mass appealing version of the scent DNA, more easily to wear, easily to appreciate, this one is a really, really nice one. And the bottle is sexy as well. Just to point that out, this has the most unique representation in the whole line because it is kind of like a black, kind of rubbery bottle as opposed to a glass bottle, which is more orange and more brown in coloration. This one has the most unique coloration and it just looks sexy to me, and the smell itself is sexy as well. So really nice release. Least favorite out of all these ones. Not saying it's bad, it's just those other ones are amazing. This one is just good, but still getting harder and harder to find. It was really hard for me to find this bottle in particular, so go ahead, go out there. If you like the scent DNA, I highly recommend this one. Try to get it before it's all gone. I don't know if it's already gone. I don't know if it's actually discontinued, but it's just harder to find, and that's why I wanted to include it in this list. The next 3 we're gonna talk about are Dior fragrances, and this one you guys probably know what they are. These are Dior Homme, Dior Homme, and Dior Homme Intense. So these 3, I'm gonna talk about the Dior Homme Eau first because this one is absolutely gone, harder to find now. Dior Homme Eau is one of those fragrances that it's just really good. It's a predecessor to Prada L'Homme. Prada L'Homme really takes its DNA and modernized it, but the original clean office-like DNA belongs to Dior Homme Eau, and it's fantastic, reserved office vibe, very nice fragrance, smells absolutely gorgeous, has a more Dior-esque kind of feeling where it just smells more high quality. The ingredients in here smell smoother, more rich, more thick, has a lot more depth. So really nice fragrance right here, Dior Homme. It is gone though, very hard to find now, very hard to find. If you can find this one right now, you're lucky and you should grab a bottle for yourself right away. The smell itself though is not one that you need to have if you have Prada L'Homme already, but it's one that you should have, especially if you're a collector who wants to collect all the Dior bottles, like me. So that one is good, not an absolute must-have, but it's still a fantastic fragrance. So next one in the Dior line, we're gonna talk about Dior Homme. Now this one is vastly different from the 2020 version, which makes this one a more valuable pickup than, say, the next one that I'm gonna talk about here. So yes, Dior Homme, the original, very nice fragrance, has that irisy, lipsticky kind of vibe, very nice for spring and fall time. Is one that I do enjoy the more and more I smell it, and the more I smell it, the more I get sad that it's gone and it's being replaced by something that's just fresh, woody, and modern. That is Dior Homme 2020. Is a shame, absolute shame that the fragrance world, that Dior is doing that to the original Dior Homme. This one is good. I don't know why they need to fade this one out. Just come up with a new fragrance. Don't fade the one that is really good out. But this, to my knowledge, is only discontinued in the US. I think in Europe you can still find this on the Dior website. Just in the US you cannot find it on the website anymore. And a lot of Dior boutiques are now not stocking this one. Now, you can still readily find this one available at lots of discounters, and even at some retails like Sephora still has the original version of this, and also the original version of the Intense as well. So it's still pretty much readily available, so go out there, grab a bottle for yourself, smell it, test it, pick up a few, you know, for backups and stuff like that. So yes, the original Dior Homme. Pick it up before it becomes harder to find in the US. Last one is Dior Homme Intense. Now this is the one that I suggest you pick up just from a collector standpoint. Now, Dior Homme Intense 2020, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I have not smelled it, but I've watched a lot of reviews from very reputable people, like Ashton from Jensen's and Steven from Red Lessons, and those guys are in agreement that the new one smells pretty much very similar to the Dior Homme Intense that you can grab, you know, the original Dior Homme Intense. So this is one that I would say grab it just for the collection. Again, I've not tried the new one myself, so I can't definitively tell you guys that it's gonna be absolutely different. I'm just going based off the reviews that I've watched that the 2020 version actually smells similar to the original version that you can grab right now. You should still grab this bottle though for the collection's sake. This one is in an older presentation. And if ever so happen that the newer version becomes different than this one in the future, at least you still have the original one in hand. So yeah, this one, grab it while you still can. You can still find it again. Same thing with Dior Homme, readily available at a lot of discounters out there. But later on in the years, in the US, this might be just as hard to find as Dior Homme Parfum. Same with this one, might be just as hard to find as Dior Homme Parfum. Alright guys, that's it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any of these fragrances already, great, good for you. Let me know which one you have down below. And let me know as well which one you don't have and which one you're looking forward to picking up or looking forward to treasure hunting, because some of these you might have to actually treasure hunt for them. But yeah, which one are you most excited about to pick up and which one do you already have? Leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Bye.